Alright, so if you want to symbolize this layer, we're going to open its properties, and then you can choose a number of different options. You can categorize based on what type of pump it is, or you can graduate based on the size of people served, or you can create a rule-based symbology. And for the task that you were indicating, where you wanted different pumps to be different colors, and then also different sizes based on the number of people served, you're probably going to need to use the rule-based sizing option. But let's just start with a graduated one so I can show you how that works. So we go graduated, and the column we're going to use to graduate the pumps is the maximum to serve, and there we go. We can leave that icon type for now. Equal interval count. We can change where these breaks are. Let's just use 3 for now. So 0 to 800. What are the other values? We can maybe go 800 to, call this 3000. Okay, there we go. And then apply. Okay. Okay, so we haven't chosen the pump type. All we've done here is we can now see the number of people served. So the white pumps are serving 0 to 800 people, and the dark red, or the red ones, are serving between 3000 and 7000. So you can just choose your own categories here, but this is not the ultimate symbology that we're looking for. We wanted to be able to color up on pump type and then use the sizes to denote the number of people served. So let's see how we can do that now. Okay, so if we open that attribute table again, I just want to check what the pump names are. So if we scroll across here to the column that says pump, so we've got a number of different pump types here, where we've got electrical, solar, India Mark II. I'm not sure, is that the hand pump? And then there's a couple of other different pump types. Okay, so now we can style. So what we're going to do is we're going to style these 5 different pump types as different colors, and then we're going to assign a different size to the number of people served, where the big one will be serving more people and the small one will be serving less people. So let's do that now. So we're going to open up the properties and the symbology for the pumps. Okay, so what we had done previously is we had chosen the graduated option, and we'd classified based on the maximum people to serve, just like this. We said equal interval, but then we went and changed this. Let's go 3 categories. Let's make it quantile. Okay. Alright, we changed that to 3000. We said okay. And that's what we had using the graduated option. So if we apply that, that's what it looks like. Now after we've done that, if you just go straight ahead and you see, okay, well now I want to create a rule-based one, it carries through the applied graduation rule. So basically that little option creates a graduated rule, and then when you open the actual rule for it, it's showing you what that rule that was set in place is. Okay, so that's what we're going to use. So now all we're going to do is we're going to keep these sort of separations, and we're just going to ask the program to color up 4 different pumps. So let's start off by making this what should we make it? The electric pump. So we can change them all to the same color. Okay, they can all be red or electric, for instance. And then we want to change the size. We're going to leave the default size for the smallest one, and the bigger one. Okay, but first of all, we need that to be electric pump. So let's start at the bottom one so you can see how it works. So we're going to select this rule. We're going to start editing. And here is the actual rule that's set in place. So this is where you would change the symbol or color. And if you can't see this, you may need to increase the size of this window. So if you can't see the symbology settings for the actual icon, just drag your window bigger. And you may need to do this a lot in QGIS. When you open the project for the first time, it kind of resizes to the screen that you're using. So if you're using a laptop, you often have to drag windows bigger. But that's something else. So now we just need to make sure that it's only pumping, only showing the electric pumps. So let's turn on this little equation to open the expression window. And it's telling us, we can make this a bit bigger just so we can see that on one line. Can we get a bit bigger this way? Okay, so it's saying this is the condition. Using that column, it's only going to show values greater than 3,000 and less than or equal to 7,000. Okay, so it's only showing those values. Perfect. Now we want it to show only those values, but for one specific pump type. So we need to add another condition in here that tells the program to only show the electric pumps. So if you expand the fields and values, when we come down here to pump, with your cursor in the right place, you can double click on pump, or you could type this out. So we only want to show pump equal to, and then show us the unique values for this pump. So with this still selected, you can click on this little button here, all unique, and it shows you the pump types. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pump types, and we want it to be electric, so you double click it. Okay, so that is exactly the condition you need to set. And then the expression window sort of preview here says, look, that's invalid, you need to add some more text, and it is the letter and. So the condition and this condition. So when both those conditions are set, then that pump will be shown. So pumps above 3,000, below 7,000. Click OK. And then we just need to change the marker size. Let's change that to 10. And say OK, and you can choose any size here. OK. And if we just make this window, drag this window slightly to the side and click apply. Okay, so it's changed every single pump to red, and then it's showing the electrical ones that are between those values as a bigger icon. Okay, so we already know that that pump there is going to serve more people. So all we need to do now is just change the settings here so that these are also only shown for the electric pumps. Then we will copy these, paste them, and do the same for the piezometer and what are the other ones, solar and the other pump types. So let's just run through that now quickly. So select the equation you want to, or the expression you want to change. Select this button, and we want to say the pump type is equal to electric, and okay. Make sure that this is a different sized icon. Okay. And although this one is okay, well, we need to change the conditions for this one too, just to make it easier for us. Okay. So we're going to say pump equal to electric, and we'll say OK. I'm going to leave that default icon size of 2, and then we say OK and apply. Okay, so you see a whole lot of pumps disappeared. Now that's because all those pumps weren't electric pumps. They were a different type of pump. Okay, is that what we're expecting to see? If we right click, I'm going to say OK for now. If we right click and we open the attribute table, how many electrical pumps are there in total? Because if there's only 3, which seems like quite a few. Okay, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 electric pumps, and people served. Okay, so there should be a medium one, and then 2 medium ones, or 3 medium ones, and then 2 bigger ones. So is there a reason I can't see them all? Maybe I need to zoom in. You see, because at that scale that we were at, these 2 pumps are right next to each other. So when we were looking at it at the national scale, we couldn't see those additional pumps. Okay, so I'm happy that that equation is working. Now we just need to set that same equation with different icon colors for the remaining pump types. So let's do that now. So properties. And a neat little trick is I'm going to copy these expressions. So I select them all, I say copy, I right click and I say paste. So it repastes those. I'm going to make these pumps a different color. So I right click again, select them all, change color. Let's make them a blue color. Something like that. Okay, so everything's set. Now we just change the pump type. So we'll say, oops, sorry, it's not that one. It is this little button here. And instead of electrical, we want the pump type. We show all unique. You're going to remove, or you can highlight that and then just double click India Mark II. What we can actually do is we can copy that text. We'll say OK, OK again. Now when we open this expression, we just paste that text. So now it's only going to show the India Mark II pumps. There we go. So it looks like the majority of the pump types are the India Mark II pumps, which I'm guessing, I don't really know, you guys know. Are those your hand pumps? You're not sure. So we can see which hand pumps are servicing more people. So we can do the remaining pumps now. And same again, we'll just copy and paste. We'll select that first one. That one is going to be, which pump shall we do for this one? What color? Actually, yeah, that's good. We'll do the color afterwards. So all unique, we'll do the piezometer. So select that. Double click to add the piezometer. Copy that text. We'll say OK. OK. Next one. We'll do the same thing. Replace that text with the piezometer text. OK. OK. Same thing. And so this is a bit of a fiddle, you know, taking time to do this kind of, what is it, rule-based symbology. But once you've got it done, it's going to give you a more meaningful map. So let's change this to like a green. Okay, so I see one little green one down there. I guess that's to be expected because all the India Mark IIs are the majority of the pumps anyway. And properties. Okay, so we'll do that again. Copy, paste. We'll change this one. Okay, so let's just make sure we got the right name. Oops, sorry. And I'll often rather double click to add text than type it in, because when you're typing it in, you have the possibility that you might make a spelling error. So that's solar. Okay. And okay. And we just keep going forward. So we're nearly there. And you can speed up or go to the end of this video if this is stuff that you already think you've got the hang of. That's basically what you're doing. Okay, what we can do is instead of going, we can just add the text in here. So instead of opening the text or the expression editor every time, you can just type it in there, which is a bit of a shortcut. And we're going to be making these pink pumps. Apply. Okay, there are two big ones over there, a couple down there. And the last pump type, what was that? Okay, copy and paste. And I'll start editing this one. And the pump type, if we open this, is this one. What's that? Vergnet. Vergnet. Okay. So let's just select that. Vergnet. Copy. Okay. Happy with that. Okay, so let's use that shortcut where we just paste it in there. And same thing here. Paste it in there. Make sure you've got the right syntax. Okay, and let's change that color. What color is missing there? Maybe a yellow. Actually, orange would be a good one. I shy away from yellows, as yellow is often your selection color. So when you select a feature, if it's already colored yellow, you won't know if it's yellow. So let's just make it an orangey color. Apply. And okay. Okay. So just before we carry on, I just want to explain something. So we've got a number of larger icons for people that are served, for numbers of people that are served that are larger than 3,000, and then smaller icons for smaller people served. So what's going to happen is this big icon at this level is going to be blocking out a number of smaller icons underneath it. So we need to make sure that it is in the right order, so it draws in the correct order. And we can do that by just changing the order in this window. So let's drag all the big ones to the top, all the big ones to the bottom, small ones to the top. So let's start by going small one. Oh, we want to drag small one to the top over there. Yeah. There's one missing. 1, 2, 3, 4. Which one's missing? My blue small one. Okay, let's just cancel this. I won't do that again. I think what happened is I probably dropped it in the wrong place, and so it disappeared. So let's just, must be quite precise here and make sure you drop it in the right place. I don't see how it would disappear if I dropped it on top of another icon, but I mean that looks like what happened. Okay, so all the 3,000s to the bottom. It's easier dragging it to the bottom, to be honest. Okay, so big ones at the bottom, small ones on the top. If I drag this off to the side and I click OK and then zoom to the extent, now we should be able to see those little ones that were being blocked out are being rendered in the correct place. Okay, because we've set the right order, hopefully. No, I'm not entirely sure that that's worked. Okay, I was just having a look at changing the various orders, and in previous versions of QGIS, you definitely had to make sure that you had the correct order. Otherwise, the rendering order would be with the first ones drawn at the bottom, drawn first, and then, for instance, if you had a bigger icon on top of the others, it would be blocked out. But it's quite possible that QGIS have changed that to default to bigger icons first, so that you don't get that issue, which is nice of them if that is the case. But anyway, if you just want to make sure, just make sure you put your smaller icons on top of your bigger icons so that they're not blocked out. And that is pretty much it. I guess what you could do now is just change the legend. We could rename this to pumps. Oops. Something like that. And then we could rename these two. So if we open that, you could basically come in here and change the label to electric. Electric. Okay, electric 0 to 800. You can change the text in there, and all that's going to do is change the text. Okay, so if we apply that, you'll see we've got electric pump 0 to 800. So you could do the same for the remaining pumps, and then you are pretty much set. So now it's just a case of getting this onto a layout, and that's a whole nother story. If you guys still need help with that, like I said, they will be coming with later tutorials. So just give us a shout if you need support with that. But I am in the process of putting all those online tutorials together for you guys, so that you can start going through them and getting to know QGIS a bit better and learning a few of the little tricks and trades of QGIS. So yeah, good luck. Give us a shout if there's anything else. Okay, so as it turns out, this is going to be quite a long video. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put little place marks in the bottom of the video description on YouTube here. And if you are happy that I've covered a topic, you can just move on by clicking on the little place mark, which will zoom you forward to the next topic. So this is the ultimate map that we're wanting to create, and that's what this tutorial will do. We're going to go through. We're going to add the CSV. We edit the Excel spreadsheet, export it to a CSV, add the CSV to the project using the coordinates for the spatial referencing of the pumps, and then we're going to run through the symbology. We're going to use rule-based symbology to create this little legend here. So we'll get some map like this, and you can see that the various colors are for various pump types, where electric pumps are red in this instance, the blue pumps are the India Mark II pumps, and then the size of the icon is for the size of people served. So all blue pumps, even though they're different sizes, will be one pump type, etc. So that's ultimately where we're going with this tutorial. So yeah, like I said, skip forward if you need to, but ultimately this is the goal. So yeah, let's get to it. Cheers. Okay, so I was just having a closer look at the data, and you guys would know this data better than I. And so I just want to adjust the symbology legend slightly. So if I just go to properties, now the piezometer is actually not going to be servicing anyone, and the Vergnet has only got a service one servicing 800, and so I'm just removing the other categories because those categories actually aren't there, they don't exist. And then I think, what is the solar? The solar doesn't have a pump servicing less than 800, so that is a more accurate reflection of what's actually going on pump wise. So I've removed the piezometer from the categories here. Okay, so now something else you can do to neaten it up, because if we're looking in our legend on the left here, we've just got a whole bunch of numbers and colors, but we actually don't know what's going on there. So whoever's reading this map, unless they know the database and set this map up, they won't know what's going on. So a neat little trick, what we can do is we can create a group for each of these layers and then label that group. So for instance, if we just add a new label, we'll just call it electric, and then we'll make the color red, or the same color as the electric pumps. We'll say OK. So we now we've got this little folder up here. Now what we can do is select everything that's electric and dump it in there. We can do the same for the India Mark IIs, and that color is the blue. I'm just choosing any blue here, so you can obviously choose the correct blue if you need that to be 100%. Just take all of these guys, dump them in there. And the second last one was solar, and our solar was pink or magenta. So there we go. Happy with that. Dump those in there. Just apply. Show you what's happening. So what it does is it neatens up how it looks in the legend or the table of contents. And the last one, we actually don't need a group for this last one. Why have we got a second one down here? So this one I'm actually going to remove. It looks like I had a second one there anyway, so that's fine. I'm happy with that. This last one I'll just relabel. So this one can be Vergnet, like that. Okay, so we didn't actually need to create a group for it because there is only one in that group. So I mean, you could create a group if you wanted to. Okay, so there we go. So now that is a bit easier to read, and particularly in the legend, you'll know that now the red are electric. If you maximize it, you can see the categories served. So what you could then do, theoretically speaking, is come in here and just type that in there. So 0 to 800 people served. So yeah, so you could edit that further using the same process I just used to create these new groups. Okay, so that's pretty much what I wanted to show you guys. I hope it's been useful and you guys are able to apply those little tools and tricks that I showed you. If you have any questions, give us a shout. And remember, I will be getting back to you with those other tutorials where we'll go through a whole lot of other processes in QGIS and get you guys up and running and knowing the software as soon as possible. Okay, cheers.